Okay, before I start talking about this book, let me make a public service announcement. Min Aung Hlaing, whatever the her name is, okay? Him, okay? This tyrannical, totalitarian who's in Myanmar ruining people's life, okay? Okay? So, it seems like people of Myanmar can't get a break, okay? Like, like Myanmar is a country, have like resources, right? They have like a good agricultural this sort of resources, and still it's one of the poorest country. Why? Because of this politician and this army draining this country to the hell and turning it's a living hell for the people and them. Okay, I know, I'm not being brave or being virtuous by saying fuck Min Aung Hlaing, living not even in Myanmar. Okay, by the way, I'm not from Myanmar. Still, well, I have a right to talk about fellow humans. Okay, like John F. Kennedy says, if there is out of 4 people, 1 person is not free, then we are all not free. Okay, God, I don't want to get political, but it's very hard to not talk about a book written by George Orwell without getting political. It's reflection of modern day Myanmar, to be honest, at least to me. It's thing what happening on Myanmar. Just calm down. Okay, let's talk about the book. So, Burmese Days, written by George Orwell. So, let's talk about the book. Okay, relax. So, okay, first let me talk about George Orwell. So, George Orwell is arguably one of the greatest writers of all time. Okay, I might be biased because he's my favorite writer. Every book I have read from him so far, it's been 10 out of 10. Well, except for this, because it's a great book. Don't get me wrong. This is a great piece of literature. This is a great piece of art, but it's so depressing when you look at what's going on in the Myanmar. It's like looking at a George Orwell. To me, George Orwell feels like a real G. Is if that makes sense. George Orwell feels like a punk rocker, like this rock and roll star, this hip hop, radical hip hop, NWA, Eminem, like Guns N' Roses. This is George Orwell, but with a pen. So, this book is about his experience in Myanmar or Burma. This book called Burmese Days. It's a great book. It's a nice book. Okay. This is an intellectual channel. You have to control your feeling, control your anger, control your emotion. Okay, this is a channel where intellectual talk intellectual things. Okay, so so the main character is Flory. So let's look at Flory. Flory is a sore loser, and I think George Orwell wrote Flory looking at himself, looking at the mirror, and he felt like Flory, right? And George Orwell was in Myanmar, serving in the Imperial Police or Imperial Army, right? He served as a policeman for British, right? He didn't like that. He didn't like that. I'm sure there were many people who liked that joke, calling Myanmar people or Indian or whatever these savages, right? What they used to call babus or whatever this derogatory name. But George Orwell didn't like that. At least I assume he didn't like that. It doesn't matter even if he did like or if he said that. I don't care. He wrote good books. That's the end of the discussion. I like his writing, right? Still, George Orwell is a great guy, okay? And the Flory is a loser, and Elizabeth, his love interest, it's complicated, guys. It's complicated. Elizabeth, his love interest, she's a bitch, and the most of the European in this book are fucking assholes. Not European, most of the British are fucking assholes, you know. But the funny thing is, I'm not even mad with the European in this book. I'm not even mad with them. I'm mad with these brown people. I know it's ironic coming from a brown guy. I'm mad with this British loving. Okay, when there is one scene, uh, Flory and Elizabeth goes to see this savages dance, or this savage, like this fucking celebration the Myanmar people do, or Burmese people do back in the day, right? And this just bring a chair to him. Oh, good sir, come here. Good sir, come here. Sit down. Sit in the front. Oh, dear madam, my lady, come here. Sit down. I was like, what the fuck? Like, used to treat British like some sort of gods. Like, my man, they just had better guns, okay? They just had better guns, better technology. And, like, it's always when I read things like that, it brings me back to Nietzsche, this slave morality. Okay? These people, like, you let this came from somewhere else to run your country, and you treating them like gods. I think even Flory did not like that either. I don't think George Orwell liked it either. Like, I don't really like it, as like coming from like Sri Lanka, where these people colonize this our country. Whatever the economic problem, or whatever the problem Sri Lanka facing right now, I don't blame on the British or colonization. Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, it's on our hand, not my hand. I did not vote for anybody, so it's not on my hand. I'm free. Okay, I wash my hand. I had nothing to do with this fucking corruption. Okay, so this is a really hard book. And it's I like this book. I actually like this book. It's see, this is the difference between again, I'm going back to Nietzsche. This is a difference between writing with blood versus writing with fucking metaphors and fucking whatever you think the nice words, right? This is by far, compared to someone like Hermann Hesse, this is a masterpiece. Compared to anything written by Hermann Hesse, this book is a masterpiece, okay? To me. And I don't care about your opinion, okay? See, it's a good book, okay? It's a nice book. I like it. And I really hate the fact that people didn't fight back. I think George Orwell also, to some degree, hated it. And I understand the resources the British had was very, it's a great amount, right? It was an empire. It was a huge empire, British Empire, right? But still, it's like, okay, I understand you lost the war, or you lost the control of your country to this British, and but still, like, you're treating them like fucking, like these people came from fucking heavens or something. Like, that's the thing I don't like that happens, by the way. Like, you can clearly see, like, in this book there are British people, they're calling the brown people babus, or N-words and all that stuff, right? But I did not find them racist. It is racist, but I found that something to be expect from this British imperial. But when these fucking brown people treating them like, oh, get the chair, oh, put the red carpet for them, like, what the fuck? Just, it's all fucking absurd. It's all absurd. Even this video is absurd. Okay, I should have talked about, I don't know, Albert Camus or something. But this is a nice book. I know I get sad tracks. And by the way, I really appreciate you guys subscribing and commenting on the video, whether it's good or not. And thank you guys to listening to my rants and this my stupid takes on these classic books. uh, I really appreciate you. You guys make my days. Yeah, and I mean, if you are interested in reading Burmese days, read, but it's depressing. uh, I wouldn't recommend this book if you want to like have a nice evening. Let's just say that I would recommend reading, I don't know, Note from Underground. It's less depressing than this. Even Crime and Punishment would be less depressing. This is very depressing. And there is a one book called Death of Ivan Liach, written by Russian author. What is his name? Tolstoy. Yeah, and that book is about a guy. Spoiler alert: he died, and it's about his time coming to death, and it's less depressing than Burmese days, which is something to consider if you're going to read this. So yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you guys subscribing to me and commenting and stuff. Thank you guys, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe so I can buy more books and talk about books. Okay, so cheers, mate.